Point After Crew. What's happening, man? We back here with another episode. Yes, sir. It's your
Yes,
host,
sir.
Jay and K, man. My boy, how we doing?
Hey man, another lazy Sunday, big chilling, long days, but I'm excited football's back in the next week. How you doing, my boy?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. Kind of battled a cold throughout the week, but today this is the best I've been feeling. So,
It's the
and another
bounce back.
exciting thing though,
Uh,
we got LSU versus USC at 4:30, man.
oh, I like
College
that.
football is back. NFL is back. Things are on the up, sir.
Yeah, no, I like it. We're in that season, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, the holidays with the sports. It's my favorite time of year, man. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So jump into it. We're gonna cover obviously all of our famous point after report, and then we're gonna do our top 10 running back and wide receiver rankings. There. All right. So my
Yes, sir.
topic discussed on point after report. Uh, Samaj P Ryan
Yep.
signs with the Chiefs to add some depth to that running back core, along with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah Pacheco. For me, this is solid. At the end of the day, Clyde Edwards-Helaire said he's 100%. This is the healthiest he's felt in the last few years. We all know Pacheco is a bruiser. He's someone who's going to play inside the tackles, get some of those tough yards. Samaj P. Ryan, he's obviously a thicker back, but he's quick, light on his feet. He's someone who can bounce out on the outside as well. So, and when it comes to running backs too, running backs are unfortunately a position where a lot of guys do get hurt. So you can never have enough depth at that position. So the Chiefs, the rich get richer.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong there, and I think it's a great move. You already got established backs there, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Pacheco, as you mentioned. Pacheco, he runs hard, runs downfield.
Hmm.
He's a great back, and there's nothing more to say than the Chiefs know what they're doing at this point. They got how many chips on their back? They got the best quarterback in football. What more can you ask for? And depth is very important, especially as we covered all these unfortunate injuries.
100%, man. And what we got up next,
I'm,
man?
I'm, I'm actually gonna let you take this one, my man.
All right, for sure, for sure. Because I want to be kind, bro. I want to be like, what I'm saying. I was
You
gonna be like,
know,
you take the next one.
you know what? You know what? That's sweet. You know what? But you always letting me cover my Niners
All
and
right, bro.
stuff.
I get
And
it.
as
Respect,
you see, all right, Ben. But you go on ahead with this one. You go on ahead.
respect, bro. Respect.
Respect.
Byron Young, defensive tackle, third round pick, and 2 years ago, was cut from the Raiders. A little bit of surprise to few, including myself. Um, but at the end of the day, these kind of cuts do happen where it's like, man, there's probably someone in the preseason that the coaches have been looking at that really stuck out to them, or maybe they're looking at someone in free agency or on the wire to pick up. So, it is surprising, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Wish
It is
Byron
what
Young
it
the
is.
best.
Yeah, I mean, I know for coaches it's like the hardest thing ever, that cut day.
Yeah.
And I remember like seeing Bill Belichick say something in an interview like it's hard on him because you build a bond with these guys, you build a rapport, and then when cuts come down to, you look at the paper and you're like, I gotta cut this guy, and
Hmm.
sometimes you don't want to cut this guy, but it's something you have to do.
Hmm.
So we wish him the best, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And next we got the Niners signing Tracy Walker. Nice depth at the safety position. You can never have enough depth. As we saw last year, Jair Brown had to come for Hufunga. Obviously Gibson's not on the Niners, unfortunately, but otherwise this is
Dang,
just,
that's tough, huh?
yeah, it's tough. Yeah, that dude was a ball hog. But other than that, I think this is great depth. He's planning to be brought up by week one. He's going to be ready to go. And nothing more you could say. I mean, the Niners are sorting it out right now. So,
Yeah, Tracy Walker was particularly solid a couple seasons ago when he was on the Detroit Lions, in that safety group. So this past season, I don't know exactly or last season, I don't know specifically what happened to him, why the play dropped off, whether it was an injury. I'm 100% sure what happened. But if he's healthy, that's definitely one of those sneaky moves that y'all made. So
yeah.
yeah, solid.
And, we always looking for some defense, man. We always looking for defense.
Yeah, and then next up, my man Bailey Zappi, man, Mr. Zap, signed to the Chiefs, man. Obviously to the practice squad, but
Hey,
he's
my
gonna
bad
he's
to
gonna be
cut
the
you
regular.
off. My bad to cut you off. I called this though because I said he was getting too many reps
Yeah,
in front of, you know. So
yeah,
I was right on this one, but otherwise, my bad to cut you off. But it was a smart move by the Chiefs, as you were saying.
not 100%. Good. I mean, he had some moments right with New England. There was kind of a little bit of hype
He's
train
not he's not
around
bad.
Zappi. Had a few starts, played pretty well. But that obviously adds depth to that quarterback position, and that's needed obviously at any position, whether it's quarterback, wide receiver, it can I don't know, kicker, anywhere.
Yeah,
So
I mean, as we could see, not only that, but like Chiefs are coming well prepared. They're a contender every single year. They're the top dog every single year, and this is just a test to that. So credit to them.
hmm
Yep. And Cowboys finally getting a running back. Dalvin Cook. Um, calm down. Calm down.
and I respect Dalvin Cook, man. I think
No,
he
no,
still
no, no,
got
no, no,
a lot
no,
in the
no,
tank,
no.
bro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ezekiel when you were
Uh,
doing this. I was like, calm down, calm down. But no, Cook. This is a good signing, I think. And I think honestly, if you were to ask me, running back two is Vaughn, and then you got Zeke to come in. I don't know, one or two downs a game.
man,
But like,
he disrespecting Zeke, bro.
but no, no, this is a good thing because you could use them as a group. This signing like it opens it up a bit more. Not saying Cook is in his prime, but he's more than serviceable. Come on,
100%. Dalvin Cook. I mean, he only played like a few like snaps for the Jets last season.
yeah,
Um, so he's relatively healthy, man. He basically had a whole year off. You know what I'm saying? He
getting his
said he
body
came out.
right.
Yeah, he said he's 100%. His body is where he wants it to be. And I still believe in Dalvin Cook. Even the few times I saw him with the Jets, the few runs he had, he still looks explosive. He still has that breakaway speed.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just going to come down to health for him. But I think this is a solid pickup for the Cowboys, especially with their cap situation. I know they don't have a lot of money to spend. So, yeah.
Yeah, with their cap situation, they're kind of in trouble. You know what I mean? Well, not I wouldn't say in
Dak's going to
trouble.
be a Raider.
Calm down. But they definitely do have to do something with Dak. Like, are you going to trade him? Are you going to pay him? It doesn't sound like Jerry wants to go long term, so that's a pickle.
Yeah, I guess, man. We'll see.
We'll see.
Um, Another one, man. This is solid though.
No, it's great.
Tim Patrick signs with the Detroit Lions. Um, Look, obviously, I'm not a fan of the Denver Broncos, but he was one player on that team. Like, talk about deep threats. He extremely fast. Um, Someone who's also good is in the special teams, like in the return game as well. Obviously, he did have that he had that Achilles injury, correct? 2 years ago, or was it ACL? I'm not 100% sure, but he had a tough injury a
Yeah.
few years ago that kept him out the whole year. But when healthy again, similar to with Dalvin Cook, this is an added weapon to Detroit and gives them another dimension, kind of along with Jameson Williams as guys who can stretch the field.
Jameson Williams, a dog.
Yeah,
It was an Achilles, left Achilles
yeah,
tendon.
he had an Achilles injury that because it was like back to back. Like it was an Achilles and he had something. It was like a back to back season of injury. It was tough, but
Yeah.
glad to see that he's healthy and 100% now.
Yeah, no, that Lions offense just that wide receiver room is deep. You already got a top five, in my opinion, a top five wide receiver in Amon, and you got Jameson, and then you just add Patrick. Is just this is what we're talking about, like these deep wide receiver rooms. You got Persall, Ayuk, Debo. You got DJ Keenan and Adunze.
hmm
Adunze. You know the these guys. They're gonna open up these offenses. It's gonna be dangerous in the passing game.
hmm
100%. And
Excuse me.
then, unfortunate news. Okay, microwave. Uh, Elijah Mitchell placed on season-ending IR. Man, this is a big hit. Unfortunately, Mitchell is like known for injuries. He's been dealing with them, trying to come back for him, trying to work through them. But it's just a lot of reoccurring injuries. I hope he heals up soon. But this is why you draft a bunch of guys, you sign a bunch of these undrafted guys, and that's why you got Jordan Mason solidified as the running back too now.
100%. He talks a lot about Jordan Mason. You're high on him. I've always kind of been a fan of Elijah Mitchell, man, because
No, I love him. I love him.
the last few years, I remember the Niners had injuries. Remember, it was like Matt Breida was out for a while.
Yep.
Remember, then you guys had like
And then
Mostert,
Jeff
and then
Wilson Jr. was out, and then
Jeff
Mostert
Wilson Jr. Yep.
Mostert was out. It was bad.
Yeah. So then Elijah Mitchell really kind of made a name for himself, and obviously,
Oh no,
then you guys brought in Christian McCaffrey, and obviously, I mean Christian McCaffrey, he's just one of them dudes. So,
hey,
but
I don't know if it was SportsCenter or ESPN who gave us a C- for that trade for CMC.
yeah, that's crazy.
But
That's
they look
insane, bro.
stupid. Oh, that's
That's
all I gotta
crazy.
say. They look stupid.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, he's on the Madden 25 cover for a reason. It is different.
Yep.
The next two to talk about the Bills. Frank Gore Jr., who was cut though by the Bills in preseason, but they ended up bringing him back, which
Smart.
was smart. He had the highest rookie grade running back in the entire preseason at 84.3. He was solid, man.
Solid.
We talked about it last episode. It would have been kind of funny to see him with the Niners because
Right.
obviously his father Frank Gore.
Especially what we mentioned previously with Mitchell being hurt. Like you got another back in there, and he's kind of right there. But Bills did the smart thing here.
Yeah, Bills brought him back, and I think you obviously you have James Cook, but you need depth at that running back position, and Frank Gore Jr. could be that second, third string kind of back to help take the load off of James Cook.
Hear it. I like it. And it's smart too because, with the departure of Diggs as well. So next, Rams captain linebacker Ernest Jones gets traded to the Titans. Titans revamping that defense, man. And they're looking like a team that can catch a few sneaky wins. I don't think they're going to be as bad as everyone thinks they will be,
Yeah, you look at that defense now that they have. Obviously, you got Jeffrey Simmons, one of the best interior defensive linemen in football.
Yep.
You just added Ernest Jones, a tackling machine, coming over from the Rams. You traded for Lenarius Sneed, one of the premier corners in all of football, coming off an all-pro season. They also picked up the cornerback. I forget how to pronounce his name. It's like Chibuye Owuzie. He was with the
I think I know
Bengals.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he's solid. He's solid too. So they're really starting to kind of fill out and put this defense together. Obviously, they also brought in Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs, both of them coming over from Seattle as well. So they're trying to really put this defense together in one offseason. And it's exciting to see that, obviously, we talked about it. They believe in Will Levis. If he's going to be their guy, they're starting to kind of fill out that defense already. Now it's going to continue to add to their offense and their offensive line.
For sure. And even if, let's say, Will Levis isn't the guy, you got Malik Willis and right behind him. So
Malik
that's a good
Willis is
thing as
gone,
well.
buddy.
Oh my goodness, I totally forgot.
He's gone, buddy.
Remind me, where'd he go?
Packers.
He
got traded to the
Racing
Packers.
behind Love. Whee!
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get no type of plant. Unless an unfortunate injury, but no. And next, man, we got Panthers releasing former second-round pick Terrace Mitchell, signing with the Niners practice squad. Very smart move. You got very, very good depth there. You drafted Jacob Cowing, you drafted Pearsall. You got Ayuk, you got Juwan Jennings, you got Ronnie Bell. It's looking good for the Niners, man. I know they released Danny Gray just because that wide receiver core is just so strong,
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Terrence Marshall, LSU guy from LSU Tiger, got to shout that out always.
Oh, sorry, my bad. LSU, excuse me,
Yeah,
LSU.
He was on that 2020 national championship team with Joe Burrow. He was thinking about this. He was a third wide receiver behind Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. And Terrence Marshall, incredibly talented. Obviously, he went into a situation with Carolina where they were kind of shuffling through quarterbacks. Obviously, Bryce Young going in the second year, but you had the Baker Mayfield situation. Was Sam Darnold as well, I believe.
Yep.
So, there wasn't really a stable quarterback situation there. But now going in with a team where, first of all, he's not going to be the one or second or third or fourth option or focus for a defense, I think he's going to have the potential to really blossom there. And obviously playing with a championship contender, I think
Yep.
you're going to really start to see the real talent that is Terrence Marshall. So this is a solid pickup for the Niners.
Yeah, Kyle loves using his unknown guys, especially. But
Mhm.
next, man, we got Juju signing with the Chiefs again. I like this move. I mean, what else? What else could you do? I mean, if you're gonna go to another championship contender, you got to sign with one of the big dogs, right?
Mhm.
So Chiefs is the way to go. You know, you're already established with them. You know, you already know the guys there. You're just another weapon, maybe even used as a decoy. So
100%, 100%. You look at that Chiefs team. You got Rasheed Rice. You got Hollywood Brown. You got Xavier Worthy. Now you add Juju Smith-Schuster,
and
which obviously is going to.
I think Brown's hurt right now, but he's gonna be coming back from injury. So Juju might get some more looks. My bad, I cut you off.
No, you're all good. At the end of the day, too, this is not a situation where he's going to come in and having to learn the offense. He already knows it. He was there when they won the
Yep.
Super Bowl. He knows
Yep.
what it is. So solid, bringing a familiar face. And I said earlier, man, the rich just keep getting richer.
Man,
Yeah.
they just know how to do it, man. They just know how to do it. They know how to run games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But next going up, a little bit talking about players who are on the pup list. And the pup list are guys who are going to miss 4 mandatory to start season. Just a few guys to talk about. Odell Beckham Jr. first. Tyler Higbee, the tight end with the Rams. Tight end TJ Hawkinson. Excuse me. Tight end with Minnesota. And obviously Nick Chubb, running back for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
I think I look at it like this. You spin it in a perspective where it's like, all right, at least these guys aren't out for the season.
yeah,
They're gonna play throughout the season, but obviously the first 4 weeks they're gonna be sidelined. So, but specifically when it comes to losses, I think Nick Chubb is definitely the biggest name there because you look at the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson. Obviously, we're all banking on him to get back to that player he was, but
hopefully.
hasn't quite done that. So they relied a lot on their running game, and not having Nick Chubb their first 4 weeks, it's going to be interesting to see how that Cleveland offense how they operate. Where they're going to still be run first, or they're going to trust in Deshaun Watson to lead them to victories.
Right. For sure. And next, man, we got Kadarius Toney being cut
Mhm.
by the Chiefs. I think we could say this was technically expected. I don't think he was incorporated in the offense too much anymore, and he was falling down the depth chart a bit. But I don't know if you consider Toney as controversial, but I don't know if he's signing anywhere else.
No, I haven't seen anything. At the end of the day, the Kadarius Toney situation was an experience. Well, it was an experience for
It
sure.
was an experience, yeah.
it was an experiment and an experience at the same time. Obviously they got him from the New York Giants. There's no doubt that he is a talent. The speed that he provides, his ability in the return game, he's a dynamic player. They use him. You can use him in jet sweeps and those kind of things as well. But it just never really worked out in Kansas City. And obviously then there was that I don't know if it was an Instagram live or like Snapchat video that came out where he kind of like was pissed about the Chiefs or like he was
I think
mad
I
about
seen
them.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like it was just kind of weird how the whole situation played out. But at the end of the day, he's still a talented guy. Obviously, now he kind of has to rebuild himself up a bit, and you can see what team decides to take him.
We will see. We will see, my man. And Travis Gibson, pass rusher, traded from the Jags to the Seahawks. Seahawks just getting more pass rush depth. They're building up that defense to be quite well. I think they should focus on the other side of the ball, in my opinion. They need a little bit of work on that side. But speaking to their defense, their secondary is very, very good. And
Mm-hmm.
just adding to that D line, they're going to be one of the dogs in the NFC West. Not atop of the Niners, but number 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's always good to have pass at their secondary. They have obviously one of the better quarterback duos in football, and Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon. And obviously, what's going to make those guys in coverage that much better is that when you got guys who can get to the quarterback and speed up that quarterback's play clock, it'll give those quarterbacks more confidence to be able to even take more risks as well. So,
Right.
Yeah, good move.
Good move indeed. And then, as I forgot earlier, as you reminded me, But Titans trade for Malik Willis to the Packers for a
Wait, what team?
seventh
What team?
round pick.
What team?
To the Packers, man.
Yeah.
On the Packers side, I think this is a good move depth wise. You know, you have a guy who could come in right away. You know, if anything, you know, with Jordan Love happens, but otherwise for Malik, you're unfortunately not going to see the field. They
Damn.
just recently signed Love long term. You know, unless this guy gets hurt, you know, you're just going to be a really good groom backup unless, you know, another team's looking to trade for you.
Yeah, 100%, man. Moving on with the Steelers. Breaking news. I think this is a shock to everyone, bro. Nah. Mike Tomlin obviously naming Russell Wilson the Week 1 starter, as expected. I think Russell Wilson just right now, in the short term, gives them a better chance to win than Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields, potentially and as a prospect, down the line, because we know Justin Fields, his running ability. We know that physically he has the arm talent, but it's just the little bit of the mechanical stuff with him, his accuracy, his being able to, understand pass rushing. It's just those little things that he has to improve on.
The touch.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But Russell Wilson did. I mean, for what it is, Russell Wilson did come off a pretty decent season with Denver. He wasn't too bad. He was okay. So, Steelers got their guy for this year.
Yep. Nope, I agree. And, if Russell Wilson ain't cutting it by week 5, you got a guy right behind him with Justin Fields who's raring to go. He's fresh legs,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And unfortunate news, we got James Bradbury out 6 to 8 weeks, low leg injury he suffered in practice.
Mm-hmm.
This is unfortunate. I hope he gets well soon. 100%. I don't think it's too big of a loss. And plus, he's not out for the whole season. So, he will be coming back. So that's good news.
Yeah. Obviously, they kind of moved James Bradbury to safety at cornerback. Obviously, you have Darius Slay. We talked about Cooper DeJean. And then who's the other guy that the rookie they took? I forget his name. But they've kind of moved James Bradbury back to moved him back a little bit to safety.
Yeah.
So obviously, it what happened?
No, I'm just like trying to think who it is because I feel like
because he's the top. He was the top. I wanted the Raiders to take him too because he was the top cornerback on the board.
That's right.
This is what it is. But hopefully, speedy recovery for James Bradbury can get back and get healthy because even if he's not the player that he once was, he's still a veteran presence in that locker room and definitely a leader for that team.
100%. And next man, Taylor Heineke traded from the Falcons to the Chargers. Okay. And I see in preseason they saw that, Stick and the other backups may have not been cutting it. So, you get a serviceable a guy who has had experience, he has a good arm. He's had playoff experience, I believe, right? And
Heineke.
Yeah, I believe with Washington, right?
Yeah, he was with Washington before, but last year he's with the Falcons.
No, I know, but I'm saying like playoff experience wise, I think it was with the Washington, right?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Did they make the playoffs? I'm 100% sure. I don't know.
I believe so. I fact check myself. I feel like I'm a casual, if anything.
Hey, we should do, right down the line. We get like a stats producer who we can be like, hey, what about this?
Yeah, literally, like we need an extra producer. Honestly,
we need extra producer, bro.
You need a fact check us,
Lord. Yeah, fact check. Yeah.
But otherwise, this is a great move by them. With Herbert coming into the season, coming off an injury, this is very smart.
100%. Moving on, Jerod Mayo, Patriots head coach, names Jacoby Brissett the Week 1 starter. A lot of people were shocked. I'm not. We all know Drake May is the guy moving forward. He's a franchise guy. He looked great in preseason, but it's smart because Mayo understands that this team is not going to be good.
Yep. So
I'm not going to throw out my franchise guy where the team is not that good. If we start losing, he's not playing well. All of a sudden, it's going to come down on Drake May. He's not that good. The media. So I think it's smart.
It's going to be the Mac Jones thing all over again.
Yeah, so I think it's smart for Brissett. He's a veteran. He's been in that organization before. He knows what it is. I think also he can be a good mentor to Drake May. So I think it's smart to roll out with Jacoby Brissett instead of Drake May week 1.
Yeah, it's very smart. And honestly, anytime in the season, you could just not any time in the season, but get Brissett in there for a good 6 to 8 weeks, I believe. And if you want to put May in there for the rest of the season, go ahead. If Brissett's not doing it at all.
Yeah.
Yep. And another smart move by the Lions and another key to that wide receiver core will be Allen Robinson. Signed him off waivers to the practice squad. But just another depth move. Injuries are a thing.
Yeah, Allen Robinson's kind of had an interesting career to this point.
Yeah.
He was obviously drafted by the Jaguars and had 2 1,000-yard plus receiving seasons in there. But then had some few injuries. Didn't really play well towards the end and went to Chicago. A little bumpy. He had a year where he was over 1,000 again. But there's just been a lack of inconsistency with Allen Robinson. He's obviously had some injuries as well. I think that's kind of slowed down a little bit of his speed. Even though he's mainly been a jump ball wide receiver, he's also had speed. But the last few years, he's kind of lacked with that get off.
Yep.
But if he's someone who stays healthy, we talked about it. You can always have a guy in the red zone where, hey, I need to throw a ball to a jump ball guy, and he can bring it down. And that's what Allen Robinson, I feel like at this point, what he can bring to this Lions team.
100%. I agree, man. It's a great move.
Yeah.
And next, finally, it is finally over all the drama. I just feel bad for all the Steeler fans online, just with all the fake pictures of Ayuk and all the imagining he wasn't gonna go over there with them quarterbacks, or not that team in general. I'm not saying it would be the worst move, but other than that, 4 years, 120 million, 76 million guaranteed. I'm just glad he's paid, he's got his money, and he'll play. That's all I gotta say.
100%. This is I know a lot of people are talking about, do the Niners really need him? You got Debo, who talked about just drafting Persall. You've got Kittle, you got McCaffrey, who can run, who can catch out of the backfield. But no question, Ayuk is by far their best pure wide receiver on this roster. He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Still at a very young age, no question. The Niners had to keep him. And we know the relationship that him and Brock Purdy have as well. So I think this is definitely whoever it was, the Niners or Ayuk, the agent, whoever came to their senses, they got the deal done, and all smiles now in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's about time, man. And now they just got to clear up the Trent Williams situation, and then the Niners got a real shot this year. But if you don't clear up that Trent Williams situation, it don't matter how many wide receivers you got. Brock Purdy is going to be running for his life.
100%.
Yeah. And unfortunate news that happened yesterday, but he is okay. Ricky Persall shot in San Francisco. I don't know what he was doing exactly, but I think it was in Union Square. Had to rush to the hospital, but he is okay, and we're glad he's okay. But that's just crazy, man. These guys got to be safe, and I think it was over like a Rolex they were fighting over or something. Just give it up at that point, man. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's not worth it at the end of the day. But we're just glad he's good. We don't know
100%.
What's the status of when he's going to be starting in the season. I don't think that's of a concern. But yeah, we just hope he heals up as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely a very scary situation. Thank God that he's okay. I think his mother came out with the post this morning, or was it last night? I think it was this morning. That how lucky they are, how it didn't hit no organs, it just went straight through the bullet. So
yep. And it hit no arteries, no nothing. Thank God.
So that's God watching over Mr. Persall, man. But yeah, thankfully he's okay, and you just hate to hear about and see stuff like that.
Yep. This world is crazy, man.
Be safe out there, man.
Yeah, be safe, serious, especially out there.
All right. Moving on.
That's gonna cut the point after
Uh,
report. That's gonna cut it, and that's gonna be a minute for the
yeah,
point after report for a minute. Y'all
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
see that during out the season for a
yeah.
minute.
I was a little excited, man, because I'm ready to get to these rankings. I want to see where your mind's at, man.
You
So
want? Oh, okay.
yeah, I want to see where your mind's at. All right, so first off, we're gonna do our top 10 running backs, but we're gonna start this time from 10 to 1. We're not gonna go 1 to 10, we're gonna go 10 to 1. And then we're
Oh, I
gonna
like that.
obviously
I like that.
all right, so then we're gonna go to it's like I'm gonna say my 10, then you say your 10. My 9, you're not, yeah, you get it.
Gotcha.
All right, so number 10, coming at running back for me is Rams own Kyron Williams. Um, yes, yes,
Okay.
really came onto the scene last year with the Rams. Really just, I mean, was emerging. Sort of like Puka Nakua.
Right.
He averaged obviously 5 yards a carry. Um, had 12 rushing touchdowns as well. Dynamic running back. And going to year 3, I think he's going to take even a more of a bigger jump.
Yeah. I actually go a little different here. At my 10, I got Devin Achane. Achane? Yeah. A-Chain,
Yeah,
A-Chain, A-Chain. Yeah,
yeah. I like that. I like that.
yeah, no, he's a very good back. Came out explosive before his injury, getting games with 200 yards, and he's just a monster, man. And he averages a lot of yards a carry, and he's just a very good back. And Miami's definitely gonna use the guy. He's a guy.
No, 100%. He was on like a historic pace before he got hurt. Like
Absolutely, yeah. No,
he's
freaking
different.
injuries, man. They ruin everything.
Yeah. All right. Coming in at number 9, I got Mr. King Henry. Enough said. It's Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs of the last decade. Um, he's still great at his age. I think we can kind of see that he's not quite the same running back he was in years past. Now he's still a bruiser. He's still dominant. Can still run over people. But I think also combined with the fact with Lamar Jackson being that running quarterback as well, I don't think he's going to be relied on to have that much of a workload like he was in Tennessee, where a lot of the times he was the offense. But shout out to the King Henry, man.
Shout out to the King Henry. And in my 9 slot, I got Kyron Williams.
Okay.
Um, a great, gonna be a great back for the Rams. I think it's gonna open up that offense. I think that running game for the Rams the last few years has been iffy. You didn't really have a stable guy. Now you have a running back one, and I think he's just gonna progress this year.
100%, man. The Kyron Williams respect is, I mess with it, bro. I mess with
For
it.
sure.
All right, coming in number 8,
Who's your
we
eight?
got coming in number 8, we got Jameer Gibbs.
Okay.
You talk about
I'm
just
high on him.
dynamic. Um, yeah, 10 touchdowns as a rookie this past season. He shared a lot of the load with David Montgomery, who went over 1,000 with the Detroit Lions. But I think going into year 2, the workload he's going to have, I think he's going to have more carries and he's going to be involved more so even in the passing game. And I think you're going to expect a bigger lead from Jameer Gibbs. But there's no doubt in the open field, he's different. He's different already.
No, absolutely, I agree. He is different. And then on my number 8, I got King Henry. I think
All
he's gonna
right.
be. I think he's gonna be great in that offense, in that Ravens offense, and also, like you said, the load's gonna be taken. Not all the way off, but he's definitely gonna be, with a lot less carries, I think. And he's still Derrick Henry, man. He's a mean back. He's a big guy. He's a power back. He's still gonna, get through tackles. He's still gonna get those yards. So with that offense, with Lamar and that read option, is looking dangerous, I think. So that's why I put him there.
100%, man. Number 7, you talked about 8. That's where I got him at. Devon A.
Yeah,
Chain. We talked about the historic pace. The guy was averaging 7.8 yards a carry before the injury. And that's like
disgusting.
Madden. That's Madden stuff.
Yeah, on
Super,
rookie.
yeah, super dynamic. And it's similar with Gibbs with Montgomery. A Chain shared a lot of the load too with Mostert, but again, Mostert obviously starting to age. I think A Chain is definitely going to take that more of the responsibilities going into this season. And I won't be surprised too. I got him at 7, but I won't be surprised if by the end of the season you were looking at possibly a number 1 rushing man in the league. So A Chain is he's
No,
good.
he's a guy, man. He's
He's
real
a
good.
guy. He's a guy. He's
He's
a
a guy,
guy for
man.
sure.
He's a guy. At number 7, I got your boy, Josh Jacobs. I think at 7, it just fits him right there, and I
That's
think
too low, bro.
He's coming. Just in my opinion, I got a few guys above him. But nonetheless, he's still a great back. With the Packers, just looking good this year with Jordan Love in that offense. Coming coming off injury, right?
Yeah, well, Josh Jacobs, yeah, he had an injury that kept him out for the last few games of the season, but it was nothing serious.
None serious. Okay.
Yeah, it was just like they rested him, and that's when Zeus emerged, bro.
That's when Zeus emerged. But
Yeah,
Josh Jacobs still established. I just have other backs over him, just in my opinion.
not 100%. Number 6, I got James Cook, one of the most explosive backs in the league. Um, I think also going to have a big role offensively this year, especially with the departure of Stephon Diggs. I think it's going to be a lot of more guys by committee, not receiving core, but I think also they're going to start to rely a lot more on the run. And James Cook, when he's on, bro, he's on. He's one of the better young backs in football. I think this year too, you will start to really see the James Cook where we're talking about as I'd said it with A-Chain potentially being the number one rushing leader in football. I think James Cook could be in that top 4, top 5 by the end of the year.
Okay. Okay. At number 6, I got Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm very high on him. Like you said, very dynamic back. I think he should get a little more PT than Montgomery. That's just my opinion. But, we'll see how he improves this year. I definitely think he will take a big leap. And with that passing game, it just opens it up for him a little bit more.
And at number 5, I got my boy Josh Jacobs at 5 instead of you got him at 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, so I got Josh as 5.
Okay.
A little bit. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
don't disagree.
A little bit of me is the fan of me.
Yeah.
But also, I think Josh Jacobs is due for a bounce back. I think a lot of it, yes, he was banged up, but towards the end. But number one, he did have the contract situation before the season started, and he held out all preseason. So I
Yeah.
just think he didn't have his rhythm throughout the entire year. But now, obviously, the Packers paid him. He's been involved in training camp.
Yes,
I
sir.
think he's ready to go, and I think we're going to see that Josh Jacobs that we saw 2 years ago, where he led the league in rushing. I think he's still one of the most dynamic running backs in football.
I hear you. At number 5, I got Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is a very good back.
Mm-hmm.
On the Colts, I think he's gonna have another great year. And when he's healthy, man, I think he's one of the best backs in the league. Just personally, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, number 4, I'm gonna go Bijan Robinson.
Mm,
I think this is the star leap from Bijan going into was it year 2 now? Um, look, I mean, a lot of
yeah,
these young
Bijan's in here
guys,
too.
yeah, a lot of these young guys are just super explosive, man, and athletic. This running back position now.
Yep.
But I think Bijan is one of those guys. You look at that offense, really young and talented around Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. It was disappointing to see the season-ending injury with Rondale Moore.
Hmm.
That was disappointing.
For
Speedy
sure.
recovery for him. But I think Bijan is, especially with that offensive line, fully healthy. I think we're looking at a big year from Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I'm high on him. I am high on him. On my 4th, I got Brees Hall. Brees Hall is a very good back, man, in the passing and the running game. He's very dynamic. He's very fast, very explosive. And I think in that offense with A-Rod and him being healthy this year, hopefully, with that wide receiver core, I think he's looking to have a very big year and a very big leap from last year.
Shout out to Brees Hall because I got number 3.
Shout out, shout out.
Yeah, Brees Hall. He had the injury where it kept him out a lot of the season, but there's no doubt Brees Hall. I think you look at the elite backs in football. McCaffrey, obviously. You look at Nick Chubb. I talked about Josh Jacobs, but there's a world where Brees Hall is the best running back in football. He is the speed, the strength, how he can see tackles, how he can break away from tackles. His elusiveness is insane. And I think also now with Aaron Rodgers, who's hopefully is healthy, where he can play a full season. I think they're going to do
Hopefully.
they're going to rely a lot on Brees Hall to start the season, which is smart because I don't think you want Aaron Rodgers right away coming off that kind of an injury at his age specifically to
Hmm.
go out and throw 40 to 50 passes a game. So
Hmm.
I think Brees Hall, in a few years, we might be talking about him as the best running back in football.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But we're on 3. I got Saquon Barkley, man.
Oh,
Saquon, when healthy, Caleb attests to this, is one of the best backs in the league, man. He is so good, and he is on a way better team than he ever was.
hmm,
So, if Barkley is healthy, yeah, healthy.
yeah,
If he is healthy, he's gonna have a real good season in Philadelphia this year. But being he's injury prone, that's why I have the person ahead of him. That's the reason of why I would.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. You're talking about Saquon. Right back at you, man. I got him number 2.
nice.
You look at that Eagles offensive line. Yes, still lost. Jason Kelsey retired. It's still elite. You still got the 2 tackles. Cam Jurgens, I think, learning after Jason Kelsey that center position, and also he showed some flashes as well because I think he also played guard a few times as well. I think he's had a few
Okay.
appearances. So, and then you look at the receiving core, right, with AJ Brown,
Yep.
Devontae Smith, Goddard. They always talk about Deshaun Dotson. He's in a situation, unlike in New York, where he's not the main focus. And
Yep.
now, not the main focus and a great offensive line,
Man.
Saquon has a chance to have one of the better running back seasons we've seen. We know the talent that he has. There's a reason why he went that high in the draft some years ago, is because he is that kind of a talent. And I think we're going to see the best season of Saquon Barkley this year.
Okay. Okay. I like that take, but in my 2 spot, I got Bijan Robinson.
Whoa!
I'm very high on Bijan Robinson, man.
Whoa!
Just
Whoa!
in the passing and the
All
running
right.
game, he's
That's
he's
okay.
he's so good, man. And that Falcons offense just improved so much this year.
Hmm.
So with him and looking at the rest of it, I had him bit with like Brees and Saquon. Like those 3, like right there, were so interchangeable for me
Yeah,
because you could really go either way. Because I feel like Bashan and Brees, I think the young guys are really gonna take the league by storm, and they're gonna be the ones to set the bar.
for sure. The number 1, I got Mr. McCaffrey, man.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
Uh, he's the best pure running back in football right now. He does everything. He can block, he can catch, he can run. He can run in between the tackles, he can run outside. There's just nothing this guy can't do at that position. So yeah,
Yep.
King
Right
McCaffrey.
back at you. Yep. I got right him at 1, and there's really nothing more to say, man. He's the best back in the league. He's on the cover of Madden for the reason.
No Madden
But
curse. No Madden curse.
no Madden curse. But just to CMC, man, he don't take plays off. He tries to stay in the game as much as possible. Heavy loads, pause. But um, you know, CMC is just an amazing back, man,
Come
in
on.
the passing and the running game. So number 1 is where he's gonna sit, and if he could stay healthy, he's just
This
the
dude
best back.
crazy. 100%.
Let's move on to the wide receivers, man.
Yeah, for sure. But real quick though, no Nick Chubb in the top 10 for both of us.
For you know what's funny, dude? That's what I was thinking. Because honestly, he's right at 11 or 10. But like with
Because Nick
Devin,
Chubb Nick Chubb
but he's hurt so
could
much.
easily be top
That's the
3,
problem though.
but
That's the problem though. He's hurt too much to even put him in the rankings. It was kind of like our A
we'll talk
Rod
about it.
thing with our quarterback rankings.
Yeah, we'll bring it up later.
It's crazy how we
We'll,
did.
we'll,
It's crazy how we did leave Aaron Rodgers out though. That's kind of crazy.
a lot of talented quarterbacks, man.
They
But
no
hey,
no 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 they no for
respect to
sure.
Nick Chubb. If Nick Chubb is healthy, he could. I talk about a lot of these running backs potentially leading the league in rushing. Nick Chubb could easily lead the league in rushing too, like
Yeah,
when
no
he's
no no.
healthy.
I would
Easily,
literally like if Nick Chubb healthy, Nick Chubb.
he's top 3.
I would no 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 yeah no 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 I would literally I would literally probably dump Barkley because he's my 3. Just
Hmm.
dump it down by 1 and then just
Hmm.
put Chubb in right in that 3. That's where I
Hmm.
put him.
All right, man. Let's move on to these receivers. Starting
It's
at
interesting. It's
10,
gonna get interesting.
yeah. Starting at 10, I got George Pickens, man. Uh,
Okay.
He's really ascended and become that main target. That Steelers offense. Uh, you look at George Pickens. A lot of people were saying when he came in, talent, 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 potential, 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 but they weren't quite seen it on a consistent basis. The last past season, he showed that, especially now they moved on from Deontay Johnson. He's going to get even more targets, more attention from Russell Wilson. So, a big year coming out of George Pickens.
Okay. At 10, I got Ayuk. I think Ayuk, you got to put some respect on this man's name. He really came out last year with Purdy. They have a real good rapport. He was just putting up numbers. He was, like you said earlier, he's their best pure wide receiver. Debo has problems getting open. He has a lot of drops. With Ayuk, you get consistency, and he is also your best route runner, your best deep threat. He does it all for the Niners. So put some respect on Ayuk's name, and I think he's gonna have an even better year than last year.
100%. Moving on to Mr. Nine. Mr. Nine, that's crazy.
Mr. Nine.
Moving on to 9, Mr. Consistent and underrated Mike Evans. One of the most consistent wide receivers. We talked about it a lot. You can pencil him in for 1,000 every single year. Future Hall of Famer. One of the best to do it in the last, decade plus. Shout out to Mike Evans, man. He doesn't get enough love, man, but he's as good as it gets.
And I'm gonna match you right there. Number 9 is Mike Evans for me. And
let's go.
I'm gonna just pin him in for 1,000. I just think he doesn't get the credit he deserves, man. I think Mike Evans is such a cool dude. He's such a good wide receiver, man. He's just Mr. Consistent. Pencil in for 1,000, maybe more this year with Baker. That rapport, I think, is phenomenal over there.
Yeah. Coming in at number 8, I got AJ Brown. Arguably the most physical wide receiver in football. Dynamic. He's one of the most hardest wide receivers to tackle.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, along with Smitty, we talked about that wide receiver deal, but even one of the pure best receivers that we have in the game.
100%. My 8 got Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson is going to take a big jump this year, especially from last year. I think, without Aaron Rodgers there, it was very kind of a struggle for him to really take that leap. But with Aaron Rodgers, man, he's a top 10 guy. You give him credit where it's due. I just think the guys above him are just a little step ahead.
We're like swapping these dudes out like one
by one and like 2.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Number 7, I got Garrett Wilson. I think by the end of this year, though, he will enter the elite wide receiver conversation. Fast, explosive, catches everything, great hands. And we already see the relationship that him and Aaron Rodgers have had. Even last year, when Aaron tore his Achilles, he came over and told Garrett Wilson, "I'm sorry, kid." And obviously Garrett Wilson talked about how close they've already become. So a big year out of Garrett Wilson. He's going to show that he's top five.
I like that. It's funny, like you said, swapping them out. At 7, I got AJ Brown. Really good physical wide receiver. He's over there with Philadelphia. He's just one of the top guys. But from 10 to above, man, you could really they're very interchangeable. So you really can't. It's hard to argue.
100%. Coming in at 6, I got Jamar Chase. He's a touchdown waiting to happen. It's been like that since college. Him and Joe Burrow just have that connection. Jamar Chase, I feel like it's become a little underrated the last few seasons for some weird reason. But Jamar Chase deserves to be in that elite conversation. He's one of the best deep threats we have in football. If Joe's upright, and Jamar Chase is going to have a 1,500-yard receiving year, I can probably book that.
You know what? I'm gonna match you there at 6 with Jamar Chase. I'm gonna pencil in for 17 this year if Joe Burrow can stay up on his feet.
Okay.
He's elite, man, and I think a lot of people overlook him just because it's been iffy in Cincinnati since the Super Bowl. But Jamar Chase is one of those guys, man. You forget he played with Jay Jetts, man. But Jamar Chase, he's gonna have a big year this year.
Yeah, big, 100%. Coming in at number 5, still top 5. Davante Adams, I still believe, is one of the premier wide receivers in football. He's coming off not the greatest season this past year, but we all saw
That's not his
the
fault.
quarterback play. We saw with Jimmy G. We saw with Aiden O'Connell. But still, I still think if one, definitely two. When you look at route runners in football, right there, the way he just gets off the line, his release, and there's been the model. We talk about Mike Evans being the model of consistency. Devontae Adams has been right there as well. So I got a big year coming out at 10, and he's going to remind people who he is this year.
I hear you. I got Amon at 5. Amon I think he's established himself as a top 5 wide receiver. He has carried Detroit on his back along with Jared Goff. I think he's just one of the guys now. I think he's just pushed himself in that top echelon. You know, this man has gotten paid as deserved, but the guys above him, I just think are almost legendary in a way. But you know, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Number 4, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah. I just talked about Devontae Adams. I think Amon-Ra reminds me the most of Devontae Adams, a younger Devontae, elite route running, route running, and elite hands as well. That security blanket he's already become for Jared Goff. Amon-Ra is one of the best, man.
Absolutely. And as you say, one of the best. I got Devontae at 4. I just put him above Amon just because, like, man, I don't blame Adams for the year he had last year. I blame it's the quarterback. And it's fair to say he does have a better quarterback this year. I think he'll have a way better year, consistency-wise. I think he won't be getting no hospital balls or nothing like that. So Devontae is just one of those guys. So, simple.
Yeah, moving on to 3, I got CeeDee Lamb. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb for getting that big contract extension. Well deserved. $100 million guaranteed.
Well deserved.
Yeah. Again, one of the best route runners, but also big playability. His explosiveness from the line is amazing. You look at the Cowboys this year offensively, they're going to be extremely pass heavy, especially losing Tony Pollard. They brought in Dalvin Cook. We talked about that, which I think could be a real underrated
Remember,
move for them.
They got Vaughn too now, and then you got Zeke. You know.
Yeah, but no, 100%. But I think they're clearly going to be pass heavy with Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So I think CeeDee Lamb again. I won't be surprised if he puts up similar to even better numbers than he did this year, which got him that $100 million guaranteed.
Yeah, man. Everything what you said, man. I got CD at 3. He's just a top guy. You know, he's out of that draft, man. I wish the Niners would have won CD at this point, but that's neither here nor there. But a well-deserved contract. He's top 3 for a reason.
Going on to number 2, I got the fastest man in football.
Fastest man.
Cheetah, Mr. Tyreek Hill. That's said, most explosive wide receiver in football. I mean, when the guy touches the football, you think he's going to score a touchdown every time he gets it. Enough said. Tyreek Hill, man.
Enough said. I actually got Jay Jets in at.
So I know who your number 1 is now.
Yeah.
I know who your number 1 is.
Yeah.
I get it. I see it.
Yeah, come on. But Justin Jefferson, the best all-around wide receiver in football. He's going to get his touches. He's going to get his looks. But when you compare Tyreek and Justin Jefferson and the opportunities they're going to get, the better year they're going to have, I think Tyreek's looking to have a better year, considering what's going on in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a key point. Excuse me. But with that being said, with the quarterback issues, and we want to see JJ McCarthy back fully healthy as possible.
Get back, JJ.
Get back, JJ. Number 1, though, I got is Jetta. 2 years removed from the Offensive Player of the Year, wide receiver. This guy talked about Christian McCaffrey as a complete running back. Justin Jefferson's complete. You can move him anywhere you want to. You can move him out wide. You can move him in the slot. He can blow past people. He can literally stay in the slot where he can more focus on his route running and just being just a safety target for the quarterback.
Yeah,
there's nothing this guy can't do. And at his age, he's only getting better and better. So the crown goes to Jetta.
All right, crown goes to Jetta. My crown goes to Tyreek Hill. Speed kills, man. And, you know, he's just a top guy. You know, both of them got paid. Tyreek got his money this year, this recent offseason. But he's just a dangerous weapon on the field, the most dangerous weapon on the field. You got to watch out for him every play. He's, in my opinion, the biggest deep threat in the game. You put him on any squad, he's a guy. So, and with that, him and Tua, give credit to Tua. He's a very good quarterback. So he's gonna have a huge year.
For sure. I mess with the rankings. How do you feel about Pickens at 10?
I like it. I just think, given what Ayuk did last year and building upon it, I just put him at 10. But I do like Pickens, though. I do like Pickens. I just need to see more.
Yeah, 100%, man.
100%.
Well, yeah, that's all we got. More of a quicker show today. Got to watch some college football.
Yeah.
Like my man Jay, all the links are going to be in the description, correct?
Correct. It's going to be in there. And then the timestamps will be in there as well, so you can skip around and see where you want to look. But we are going to hit you guys with the back-to-back episode just for y'all right before the season. So that's for y'all. We want to thank y'all for tuning in, liking, subscribing, whatever y'all do.
Follow us on the socials, man. You got to see the exciting content, man. The previews, everything.
Man, we gotta get it flowing. The season is gonna come quick, and this content gonna come quicker. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But from me and Caleb, that's the end of the show. We want to thank y'all. It's been a good one. Episode 7. Me and Caleb, we out.
Peace.